Hey everyone, how are you? Let me know if you can hear me because I can't hear me right now, and so that makes me a little nervous. Um, but let's see. Oh my goodness, I was running late. I was just in there, like getting ready, doing my thing, and then before I knew it, it was like 8:01. So that's not cool. But yeah, let me see. See who's all in chat. Oh my goodness, so many people. Let's go, Sanchez. I see you. I see you. Obi Rose. I see you. I see you. Rouster. I see you. Ambi. I see you. I think I saw Crow earlier. What is going on? We got you. Great. Thank you. Thank you, Obi. Obi, I saw you stream today. I was coming back from work. Oh, look at my camera. It's like y'all get to see like everything in the back. Remy's toys and blanket and everything. So yes. Uh Here we go. So today is my Halloween stream. So it's gonna be kind of cool today because not no 4 hour stream, not a 4 hour stream, Jeff. Y'all know it's I like kind of that hour and a half, 2 hour mark. Um and let me do it like this. Let me do it like there. Yeah, a little bit like that. And so Halloween stream. So I got a couple of little cool games. Obviously, I'll open it up for everybody to come on. But yeah, there's a couple different things. So to get it started off, where I am going to show one of the things we're going to do is I'm going to show a clip of a movie. I know, it's crazy. But I'm going to show a clip of a movie and you got to guess like what movie this is. Now the first one you're going to probably get, it's nothing crazy. Um, but let's see if I can get it here. And then we're just gonna do it like that. And then I have another one that's very Halloween centric, if you know what I mean. And we're gonna also be guessing clips, but that one's gonna be a little bit harder. So if you haven't seen Halloween, it's gonna be really, really hard. So wink, wink, that should give you a clue. But for this other one, yeah, this one should be good. So if you're not over the age of 30, this one might be a little hard for you. But with that said, let me see if I can do this. Let's see if I can do this. Hold on, hold on. I was supposed to have this a little bit more set up before I got on, but what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? All right, here you go. So here you are. Here's the first clip. One we're talking about. Did you figure out which one? Did you figure it out? She woke up in time. Didn't get it. Hey, geek. Ayo. So that, for all you all, is the iconic Nightmare on Elm Street. So we're going to be doing a couple of those. But first, I'm going to like post my link in. And like I got a lot of them, right? So we got got this on. Is that the Sega CD? Which one? I never seen any of them. So no, really, Ross, you didn't see any of them? What Sega CD? What Sega CD? What we doing? I don't have a Sega CD. I don't have a Sega CD, but we're gonna post the link. We're gonna post the link here. And if you want to come on, go ahead. If you're talking about that stuff back there, that's Remy's. You'll see him probably here in a second. He likes to go crazy when I come on. You don't watch horror movies, Rouser, but we're gonna watch a couple. So don't worry, we got you covered here. Today, got you covered. So here we go. Let me post this in. Let me post this. So that is that. And let's see if I can if I don't know if I can. Someone can post that. Emmy, can you I think Emmy or Rouster, can you link that at the top? I don't think I can do it from this angle. Maybe I can. Maybe. Maybe not. We'll see. But anyway, so if you want to come on, we can go on. We could talk about your favorite horror film. So that's like the first one. That's the first game, right? That's the first game. And like I said, we got a couple of those. I got a couple of those. but just to make it a little bit, those are kind of easy, right? So those are iconic ones. You're gonna be able to figure those out. We're gonna up the level here. We're gonna up the level here. So if you are not a Halloween fan, if you are not a Friday the 13th fan, you may not get these. You may not get them. You may not get them. Actually, I shouldn't say Friday the 13th, right? If you're not a Halloween fan, you may not get some of these. But because it's gonna get hard or easy. Depends on which one you want to say. Could be hard, could be easy, could be hard, easy. But yeah, doesn't let mods pin. What are you talking about? Y'all should have pinning. Y'all should have pinning. Well, I don't know. Privileges? Pin. Let's see. Let me see. Did that do it? Did that do it? Should have done it. That should have done it. That should have done it. Let me do that. Let me do that. So this week, and actually next week, is going to be a special week too. We're doing another themed Shades of Purple community stream. Where we're going to be talking about stuff. But with that said, I do want to bring up another one. I know, Rouster, you're like, this game's not fun. I don't know it. So we're going to give you another one. Another one. So this one, let's see. What do we want to do? What do we want to do? We want to do this one? All right. Here is a scene from Halloween. And it's kind of, entertaining. But the whole point is for you to figure out which Halloween are we talking about. All right, ready for that? Ready? Here we go. Which Halloween are we talking about?
He came out of nowhere. I couldn't stop. Is it him? Is it him or not?
So that was it. Obviously, death scene. But you haven't seen any of them? Oh my goodness. I picked the wrong game. I was going to do the more comical Halloween movies. Maybe that's what I should have done. Oh, with that guy, Mike Myers. I know, but which one? That one's kind of easy. If you've seen them, they're kind of easy to tell just by like the graphics and if you know the death scenes. But if no one gets it, I'll play it again, or I'll just tell you. But looking at them, it's kind of like cheesy to look at it. But none. I know. Obi. None of them. It's all right. It's all right. Well, we got a lot of clips. That's all I'm gonna say. So if y'all want, we might be able to do. Let me see. Let me see something y'all may have seen. Let me see if y'all can get. Let me see if I can find one. A really good one. All right. How about this one? This is a good one, y'all. See if y'all should get this. Y'all should get this. No, Ambi, that's not Halloween one. Ambi, you should know. Where's Wit? Hey, Lo-Fi, what's going on? Doing movies. Lo-Fi would get this. Lo-Fi, have you seen Halloween? Like the movies? I feel like Lo-Fi would get this. Let me know, Lo-Fi. And if you have, I'll replay it. I guarantee Lo-Fi would get it. But here's another one. Here's a good one. Uh-oh. It's not doing it. Let me do it. Give me a second. It's loading. Here we go. So good. Iconic, iconic silence. You got it. You got it. You got it. I had to give y'all one. There's no horror fans here. I wouldn't say these are horror as much as I mean, I guess they are now, but they're really not like scary anymore. You know what I mean? Um, but since y'all since you said it, yeah. Yes, yes, Obi. But since y'all said it, I think I think it's time to scare Rouster. Ready?
I see dead people.
There we go. There we go. Just for you, Rouster. Just for you. There, just for you. That was pretty easy. I didn't want to I didn't want to scare you too much, but I think I could. Let's see if I can get it better. Let's see if I can get it better. Oh no. Maybe not. Maybe not. That one may get us banned. I don't want to copy. That one seems to have a lot of copyright issues. But yeah. Yeah. Scary movies. So I get it. I get it. So why? Tell me why? Because horror films to me are pretty simple, right? Like you know it's gonna be a happy ending. You know some people aren't gonna make it out, and yeah, I don't know. I think for me, horror. It's not that I love horror, even though I play a lot of horror games. What it is that I think it's unique how you can evoke an emotion like horror when you know it's on it's on a screen. You know what I mean? Like it's like how can you create this sense of fear if it's on a screen? Like that kind of has always like surprised me. When yeah, Obi, did you? The Sixth Senses didn't like the parts where it cuts to a I remember, but I don't remember every moment. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. I think for me, so if y'all know it, throughout October, look at that. Who's that? Who's that? Uh-oh. Oh, he's terrorizing. He's terrorizing little Remy. That's big Remy and little Remy, by the way, y'all. He knows we're talking about him. Yeah, yeah, he wants to be on camera. He knows when he's on camera. Isn't that crazy? He like knows like, hey, I'm on camera. It's really weird. Like he just knows. Um okay, Remy, go play with little Remy. Go play with little Remy. Little Remy. I got it. He's gonna make me play with something. But yeah, to me, I think throughout October, I always watch horror, like anything that's supposedly scary. So I watch all the Ghostbusters every October. And this October, I like took a special interest to like that like 80s horror films and genre. Just to see like what like special effects and it's interesting because I think horror games, I think I mentioned this before, are kind of like video games in the fact that s- to me it's really hard to go back and play an old retro game and get the same experience. So this was like Metroid Prime. I tried to go back and playing that and it just I couldn't. It was like I was used to different graphics, I was used to like different controls. And so when I played Metroid Prime, um, yeah, I couldn't get into it. And I feel like horror films are kind of the same thing. It's like it's kind of hard for me to get that sense of like dread. Like if anything, I watch horror films now from that time frame to understand like the music they play or to look at the effects. So that one that we saw earlier, the Halloween, just so y'all know, that was Halloween 2. Halloween 2. And and you kind of could see it. It was kind of like cheesy and stuff. And you could just see like oh, I see how they did that special effect, right? And I think that's how I watch it. It's like an artifact. You know what I mean? The first Texas Chainsaw Massacre is your favorite. Hey, Emmanuel, yes. You know, Remy likes to think he's a puppy. We don't know. We know he's over a year. I think he's closer to 16 to 18 months, but right now he's active. So it's interesting because if yesterday if I did the show around this time, he would have been like knocked out. But right now he knows I'm talking to you all, and that's his license to that's a license to run amok. So that's what he's doing right now. You may hear him barking here in a second. In which case, if he does, I may have to like put it on pause to go get a treat of some sort. Remy, he's like super active. But yeah, that's what's going on. That's what's going on. That's what's going on. That's what's going on. I was never big into the Halloween Michael Myers movies until last year. I was more of into Jason and Freddy movies. So why Jason and Freddy? You know what I mean? So those are all to me very different, right? So I don't think I'm going to be spoiling anything. But to me Freddy is more of a, you know, he talks, he's like really catchy sometimes with his or snarky, you know, he kind of represents a certain type of horror. uh Mike Myers is like, it's like actually Mike Myers, right? Like it's like, that's Mike Myers. And Jason, you know, Jason's kind of like supernatural, right? Like, you know, it's like it's out there. And it's just really interesting to me like where they originate from and stuff. So but why those two? We had their movies at home growing up. Okay, so those are the two you had. That's fair. That's fair. Where you're at, but whether it had feeling. Oh no, no, David Wilson, you're tired. David Wilson, how's your job going? How your you know, and that's question, David Wilson. Anybody else wants to answer that question? Go ahead. Tomorrow I actually travel. I think I told y'all this. Tomorrow I travel and I will not be streaming at all. Like there's no way I can stream. I don't get back till Monday, which kind of stinks. I don't This is like the third or fourth time I've had to travel during this type of weekend right before Halloween, which really annoys me. But VHS days, woo. Did you hear that VHSs like if you have VHSs, like at one point they're not going to be able to render the picture quality or the picture correctly? I just found that out like a year ago. That so if there's like memorable memories, if there are memories on a VHS you have, you may want to like take those off and put it on another type of storage device. As from what I've been told, eventually it just like fades away. So I don't know. Um, I don't know. So that's something for y'all to do, to think about. Also, if y'all want to talk about gaming, obviously we had some huge gaming news. Obviously, some people got promoted at Xbox, so I think that's pretty big news. And Mario Wonder, and in Spider-Man 2, both of those got launched. And I believe tomorrow, Alan Wake 2. Now, if y'all know anything about me and Alan Wake 1, you'll know I haven't finished it yet. I will, because I think I'm pretty close. I just need to take a break from it. And then I'll eventually get Alan Wake 2. Like, I'm not in a rush for that one. I'm not in a rush. Sarah Bond and Matt Booty. Sarah Bond and Matt Booty got promoted. Purple, have you played Mario Wonder? I have not. So I am going to play Mario Wonder over the holiday season. I actually haven't played any game. Oh, no. I've been playing Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed. Probably this week. That's the only game I've really been playing. So what they did is like if you have the game or if you don't have the game, it's a live service game in which you team up and go take down ghosts in a basically a haunted map. It's usually like a museum or an arcade, a house, a courtroom, something. You go into a hotel, you take down the ghost, or you are the ghost and you have to like haunt the building. I think I've explained the premise of the game before, but there's like a story during that. So like you have to get to a certain level, and each time you get to a level, like you progress through the story like a little bit more. So it's kind of like something for you to like continue to go through the story. This October they released DLC. Everybody who had the game got the DLC for free. So that's really cool. And then every holiday, or not holiday, but like festive time of the year, they um they do something, they decorate like the Ghostbusters firehouse in some decorations. So right now it's all like Halloween decorations. So that's what I've been playing. I've been playing Ghostbusters. What is that on Ghostbusters? It's on all systems, and it's cross-platform. So PlayStation, Xbox, both Xboxes. I play it on Xbox and PC. I think it's on Nintendo. No, I don't think it's on Nintendo. Maybe. But it's definitely on those other three that I mentioned, and it's pretty cool. I don't know. It's something like I just kind of go in there, and I'm not too far. I'm like level 30. Um, but it's kind of cool to go in and I don't know. I equate it to what's the game? I guess some people say it's like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, or what's it called? The other one where you're running around um and you have like a killer after you. I can't think of the name of the game right now, but it was on Stadia and it had a lot of DLCs. And I played it. I actually played it a lot too. But yeah, it's crossplay. So I like crossplay games. So if you haven't, you can kind of tell what type of games I play when I'm not streaming. I like co-op games. I like games where it's us in a team and running around, we're talking or trying to solve something. Those are my types of games. That's what I Dead by Daylight. That's the name. Yes, Dead by Daylight. That's the name of the game. So yeah. Um so and I think it's on sale today. And when I say it's on sale, it's like slightly on sale. It's not hugely on sale, but it doesn't go like big. It's not a huge. It's not going to get discounted a ton, but you usually can find people playing it. And if you're lucky, like there's a whole Ghostbuster. I think I told y'all this like back in around June during Ghostbusters Day. Like there's a whole Ghostbusters community online, and a lot of them play the game. And so it's kind of cool if you ever like get teamed up with them, or just any like it's they're a pretty cool community as well. It reminds me of this community a lot of ways, like um but right now they are like full done Ghostbusters at the moment. Hey Cammy, what's going on? Evil Within 2 is free on Epic right now. Really? It was on sale on Game Pass. Not Game Pass, Xbox. I was looking at the Xbox store today. They had Elden Ring was on sale. That was on sale. Um, what's this? There was a game that supposedly was on sale, but it was like still $70. It's ridiculous. But yeah, I was going through the Xbox store today and just looking at all the games. Also, y'all heard me talk about Blasphemous. I would tell y'all if a game that I like ever goes on sale. So Blasphemous is on sale right now. Both Little Nightmares are on sale. Several of the Darksiders are on sale. Not Darksiders 3 though. Unfortunately, not Darksiders 3, but Darksiders 1 and 2 are. And a couple of others. Dead Island 2's on sale. Dying Light 2's on sale. There's like a lot of those like that. You can get all 3 of the Metro Exodus games for like $10 right now. I think that's an amazing deal. So yeah. Cammy, how are you? What are y'all doing for Halloween? What is there? Is anybody else doing stuff for Halloween? I think I have Dead by Daylight for free on some system, maybe Epic. I know we had it on Stadia. It was a Stadia Pro game, so if you had claimed it back in the day, don't you all remember that Stadia people? We could just claim it. It was in your library. I was just talking to someone about this because I went back and I played the Query. And because Xbox takes up any game system on consoles takes up space, right? And I beat the Query and then I took it off so I could make room for like the other games I play, like Remnant or Outriders or something like that. And so when what is that? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. He is like at it, y'all. He is at it. He's like, I don't know. He's active right now. He's active. But yeah, like I took me like an hour to download the Query again. And that really frustrated me. And I just remember the days like where it was like there. We had like hundreds of games in our library. Not hundreds, like I had maybe I think 100. I could just click it and boom, it was there. But not there anymore. Strange Brigade 250 on Steam. That's a good deal. That's a good deal. So let's see what else is going on. What else is going on? And not working at the moment for Crosswires. Last we spoke, I've just been getting ready to start looking for some soon. Okay, I hear you, David Wilson. Totally hear you. We're taking Skyland trick or treating. Nice. Skyland's going to be Wednesday. Is that right? Because I remember that was like her favorite character. Is it still, or is she like thinking about being something else? Look at Remy. I don't think we're gonna take Remy trick or treating. So where I'm at, like they do the trick or treating like as a neighborhood on Saturday or Sunday, but I'm gonna be out of town. But if I was in town, we would probably go walking around. Because dogs need to go trick or treating too. That's what he needs to do. He likes that. He likes it. Yeah, she's going to be Wednesday. Are you going to take pictures, Cammy? That would be pretty cool. I know. I think they said the most. I think I was watching Ryzak and Jeff's stream. I think it was their stream, and they said the most popular costume this year is Barbie, which I thought was strange. Like, what would you dress up as? Like, what would you do? Is it just pink? Like, I don't even think Barbie wears pink. You know what I mean? My daughter said, but still going to trick or treating. 13 is a good time to go trick or treating. Roster, like 13's not too bad. She is the Lorax. See, she's at that age where it's creative. Hey, Rudix, what's going on? Rudix, are you going trick or treating? Are you going as the hero known as Spider-Man? See what I did there? I could see that. I could see Rudix being Spider-Man. But yeah, we were playing a game, y'all. No candy for me. No candy makes Rudix an angry person. So, y'all, I think we're gonna do another one. Rue is Aquaman. Aquaman, what the heck? Aquaman. I'm giving you easy ones now. Got another one. Can you tell what this one is? You should know what this one is.
I can go slow ahead. Come on down and chum some of this
Has
shit.
an amazing sound. Amazing score. You got this one, girl?
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Iconic line. Iconic line. Iconic line. So if you ever heard the line, "We're going to need a bigger boat," it was right there. Right there. Josh, you got it. I got it. Now everybody's getting it. No, I didn't. Yeah, I've seen bits and pieces of it. What roster? It's actually has a really good score. Like, I think Jaws is one of the most iconic scores ever. Like, you just hear that, like that main line, and you just know what it is, and it captures the moment so well. It's actually when I started really listening to like scores, one of the ones that I just have a huge amount of respect for, what they were able to do there. Uh, Bonus points if you can tell me, Steven Spielberg did the movie, but who did the score? If you know Spielberg, you know who probably did the score. But really, really, really amazing. Creator did the score on that one. Probably phenomenal. I think in 100 years we're going to be seeing their name like Beethoven, just because they were just so good at scores. So yeah, but yeah, that was Jaws. Y'all got it. You got it. You got it. John Williams, you got it. Yeah, John Williams. John Williams. It just I still don't know how they do it, but I think whatever he did for that just was. But how does Rudix do it? Chef's kiss or whatever he does. Elfman. Elfman. That's not. Oh my goodness. So yes, that was John Williams. And that was the we did it. Now here's one. Let's see if I can get it. Let's see if I can get another really good one. Or if y'all want the harder ones, if all right, here's here's like one of my favorites. You know. So let me see if I can get this for y'all. Ah, that is it. You got it. That's the line. That's the line. That's the line. Here's Johnny. So if you heard it, we heard a couple of iconic lines. We heard the girl counting, right? 1, 2, he's coming for you, right? So we heard that. We got Elm Street. We're gonna need a bigger boat. We had I see dead people. And we got here's Johnny. Like some of the most iconic like music and lines come from horror films. And so I think as like I wouldn't say I'm a movie buff because I really am not. But like I said before, I just think the way horror films are able to capture you and just just the atmosphere, the different types of horror, it's just so iconic to me. And now granted, these are some of the best horror films ever. So maybe that's it. But they said that Kubrick stressed her out to the point that her hair was falling out. I couldn't believe that. I could believe it. Yeah, I don't know, roster. I don't know. I don't understand why I give that lady so much crap. um yeah, now no. Yeah, now no. That is an iconic one. I don't know if I have another one. I might have another one. If I could think of another one. Let's see. This one's an old one, but this one gets quoted a lot. We'll do this one later. I don't know because I think I only have like two more. because most of them were for my Halloween ones, but y'all don't watch Halloween. So if y'all want to still see those clips, I'll show it to you because it's still pretty funny. Um, but yeah, let me know. I'll maybe do one of those. But yeah, if y'all want to come on, I've posted it on the top. If you want me to talk about gaming, I'll do that. If you want to ask me a question, I'll do that too. Um, but it's Halloween, so I didn't want to get too serious on gaming. I didn't want to beat up Xbox too bad today. I didn't want to pump up Nintendo too much. But overall, I don't know. Like there's good games still coming out, and I'm excited for that. But yeah, I haven't really been playing. I've been out of town. Why not? When you see what question? You have a question? When you see her looking stressed and smoking, this was an action. She was just coming from crying because he was threatening her. Yeah, she did. I mean, so I guess like her loved one is turning into this thing and stuff. So I think that is pretty interesting. I mean, if you understand horror films during this time, it's really interesting kind of some of the themes that get played out. So during this time we see a lot of like loved ones actually being um like either the monster or some if not the monster causing stress, and this now makes the person run away. You see a lot of times couples getting like just thrashed. Like it's really interesting what you see at horror at this time frame, as where before. And I'm not gonna get into The Exorcist because that's like a totally different. That like totally changed everything. Um, but like slightly before, like older horror. So I think we heard about Kubrick. Um, a couple of others. It was a little bit different, and it had much more to do with social commentary at the time. So I wouldn't say Twilight Zone's horror, but some people would. Lots of you know, uh lots of interesting stuff there. Um Obviously Alfred Hitchcock. I love Alfred Hitchcock. So many good Alfred Hitchcock Presents. I think I've seen it twice, like the full thing twice, as well as certain episodes. Who knows how many times? I love it, and that's kind of the stuff I like to just watch because yes, there's a scary film there, but they're always trying to like tell you something more, and I don't know. I just find it interesting. What's going on, Chariot? What is going on? Um, just doing talking taking about horror movies. Nice. Yes, we are. Twilight is sci-fi. Yeah, some people would say still like is it sci-fi? That's interesting. I think some of them definitely are sci-fi. Some of them for sure are sci-fi, but I wouldn't say all of them are sci-fi. But I don't know. I like it. Like I like if you can't tell, I like thinking. I like looking deeper into what's there. Question: would you consider Clockwork Orange horror? Yes. Why not? Why not? I used to stay up late as a kid to watch Alfred Hitchcock. Yeah. Oh my goodness, so good. We should probably do that one day. Just like watch it like because they're like really short, just like watching Alfred Hitchcock together. That'd be pretty cool. Did you ever see 976 Evil? I haven't seen this one. When did it come out? Obi, would you? Would you consider it? I mean, it depends on what you consider horror. Like, right? It depends on I guess to me it's like the underlying subject matter. And are they trying to scare you into something? Like obviously Clockwork Orange, um has to deal like because this was like around the punk rock era and how like rock music was like gonna like drive you crazy, right? So they were trying to like scare you. Um, so I guess so, right? Or no? How about Creep Show or Creep Show 2? Back in the late 80s. Creep So I've never seen Creep Show 2. Is it good? The Legion go Roster, you're getting a handheld? I didn't know that. I didn't know Roster's getting a handheld. I mean, let me see. I haven't seen. This is not one I've seen in a while. This is like one that I probably saw before I was really into horrors. "1982, we were coming out towards the end of it." Hold on. Like, kind of, like, going through everything. Trying to jog my memory about what happens in this. Mm. Hmm. I could see it. I think it's more comedy though, right? No, no. Scary shit or no lie for real. Unsolved mysteries for real. In my opinion, whole damn it. I'm a whole and I still get with whole so what about the new unsolved mysteries? The ones on Netflix. See, I think unsolved mysteries is scary because like most of the time they to me half of the unsolved mysteries they already know what happened. They just can't capture who it is, right? Like there's some that it's like the alien lights ones, like or the ghost ones, but there's a lot of them that's like she was bludgeoned to death and then her husband ran away. If you've seen this person, please contact us. Yeah, that's like guess it's unsolved. But unsolved mysteries is like just the music obviously like has that again puts you in that mood. The new ones that came out on Netflix, I thought it was pretty interesting what they did, right? Where they tried to crowd crowd search. Not crowdfund isn't the right word, but crowd search, like to try to figure out the what happened. And there's a couple of them that I still try to follow to see if there are any updates because it's kind of interesting that you can't solve some of these in today's time. But that's just my feeling on it. Like I think uh I don't know, unsolved mysteries and then America's Most Wanted. I used to put those in the same category, but I guess unsolved mysteries does like just have that more eerie feel to it. Um Do you, Cherry Man? Do you Night of the Creeps? What is up with you? I don't. What is this? What is this? What is this? Night of the Creeps. You love like. I've seen this. I've seen this. Oh my gosh! So you're more like a You're not a slasher horror. You're like a What would we call it? Monster horror? Monster horrors are interesting. But I think it's always like when I watch it, it's like, I guess. Like I said, I think the horrors that give me the most are the ones that like were when I was younger, anything that like messed with your belief. So um what's the one that oh my gosh. It's with Morpheus from uh well Morpheus is from the what is it? The Matrix, but it's in the spaceship, Event Horizon. That to me messed with me. Like, I don't know why. That just did, right? Like, and it's like I don't think it gets its due respect. So if you want to, if you're into horror and you want to see one that is, in my opinion, like underrated, I think Event Horizon's pretty underrated. But as just far as like kind of a scary one, that just kind of like messes with you. And then of course, like, I don't know, anything that's like sci-fi horror. So here's a question, y'all. What would you consider alien? Like if Wit's out there, Wit and I have had this conversation. Is like alien sci-fi or is it horror? Is it like I'm curious, is it a sci-fi horror? Because I know you have Rouster may have not seen Alien, but y'all had to have seen Alien. To me, I don't know. I put it as like a mystery. I don't know. Like that's another one that to me just is like amazing. 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 Let's do this. I don't want to show too much of my apartment. Let's do this. There we go. There we go. But yeah, so that's my horror one. I have so many clips of Halloween stuff because I thought I would have some Halloween fans. Well, Cherry Man, do you watch Halloween? Let me know if you watch Halloweens. I've never seen it. I did see the end of Spaceballs. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Spaceballs. Oh geez. Well, Ross, that makes you an expert in Alien. Oh my goodness. So Wit and I, we actually watched like every Alien, every Predator and dissected that entire universe like twice. So that was like a pretty fun time. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Alien is cool to me. And it is what it is. But yeah, I have like I have so many clips, but I'm afraid y'all wouldn't get them. I'm afraid you wouldn't get them. There's so many spoofs. There's so many things that try to be alien or try to be alien, I guess. Um Gosh, I have so many good ones. But I'm afraid y'all may not get them, and it's just gonna be like I already know which ones they are. Uh no, I think it is. I think they're trying to make it a spoof of many things, Roster. I think anytime we have a spoof movie, it's actually a lot more spoofs, right? Like Scary Movie. Well, Scary Movie is like probably over the top because I think they looked at over 100. Like I think each Scary Movie has like over 100 references to another horror film. And so like I'm not gonna say I've seen hundreds of horror films. I've seen definitely the classics, and then there's like an undercurrent of cult classics. I watched Halloween before, especially for the. All right, Chairman, I'll give you one. All right, I'll give you one. I'll give you one. This one's for Cherry Man. This one's for Cherry Man. See if I can pull this one up. This is for Cherry Man. Like I have all these death scenes from Halloween. Because that's what I was gonna do. Like if you know the movies, you know the death scenes. But that one's for Cherry Man. I did that one for you. Because that's why it was like the Halloween stream. Because it was gonna have all the Halloween ones from it. But yeah, so I don't know, like another spoof movie. Another scary one that was like, I remember this one was like really scary as a, a kid. Candyman. Like I remember Candyman. Like I don't think it was actually the movie that scared me, but just people who would start like go into the bathroom, look in a mirror, like turn off the lights and say Candyman. Like that used to freak me out when I was little. Like not the movie, but someone actually doing that act just like scared me so much. And I don't get it. Like I guess in a way now I look at it, but I guess that when you're younger, you just are like, it could be real, it could not be real. It's I guess it's like the Slender Man. That was something that recently came out like over the last 10 to 15 years. But Candyman, like when someone would do that, like I don't know. What was cool? Candyman Sanchez? A clown in it? There's a couple of movies with clowns. There's one where they're like from outer space and they're like killer clowns. I think that's exactly what the name of the movie is called. Killer clowns from outer space? I'm pretty sure. Yes, that's it. That actually is a somewhat of a creepy one. We had Bloody Mary. People would go in the bathroom and do that. Yeah, like the blood. Yeah, I know. It was weird, right? Like, well, you're all these people and you're in there. Um, but Candyman was the one that just got me. And I had seen it, but I just don't know why we would like freak out with that one. Um, that's not cool, Sanchez. I mean, now I probably would do it. It was a clown, not sure. It 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 was a clown. Have y'all seen the new ones? That was vicious. It was like you gotta imagine, like, I don't know why though. I don't know why. Like, when do you go from that age? Like, when you, I probably now I wouldn't do it either. More I'm thinking about it, I'm like, I don't think I would do that either. I just don't think I'll ever be in a situation where I can't turn on the light to the bathroom. Maybe that's it. Um, uh, yeah, I want to see the second one. For it, the second one in it is I thought it was pretty good. Like the premise in it, and I think I thought they did it I think they did an interesting job. I'll say it like that. Because right, like it's interesting when you think about that one, and I haven't actually read it or done any like deep analysis of it. So someone who has, please chime in. But it's interesting how I don't want to ruin the movie if y'all haven't seen it. But there was I have an issue with it, right? Like I have an issue when the victim is a kid in a movie. I don't really care about teenagers. Like go kill, like go do whatever you want to those people. Like like kids, like I don't know, like it bothers me to a degree when it, maybe because they're so helpless and so innocent, especially in a movie like it, that that you make them like the victim. I don't know, it messes with me. Like I said, like when they're older, like Alien, I'm like, I don't care about that. Or in another movie, I'm like, I don't care about that. But that one did mess with me. Yeah, exactly. I know, I get it. I get it. I get it. But why target a kid? Like, why make that the subject? I don't know. Maybe it doesn't work the other way around. What was the other movie the other Steven Spielberg that they turned into an HBO series? Um, Outsiders. I think that's it. They did it there too a little bit, but it was different. Oh, Steven Spielberg. Ugh. Oh, not Steven Spielberg. Stephen King. I keep saying Steven Spielberg. Stephen King. So I don't know. I don't know. The Black Dahlia with Josh Hartnett. The Black Dahlia. Did they ever solve the Black Dahlia? No, right? That was right. That's like the actress and stuff. Where have you been? We've been talking about horror this whole time. I even did like Wit. All right. This is for Wit. Wit, can you say which movie this is from? All right, we're gonna give you one. Wit. We're gonna give you one. We're gonna give you one. Here you are. Oh my goodness, what we've been doing all sorts of clips. All sorts of clips. I think they know. I think Nicole Simpson. I think they know that one. Yeah, Wit, that's what the whole stream was. So Wit, we were showing a lot of clips earlier, and everybody's like, I haven't seen Halloween. I was like, oh no, you ruined my game. That was see, Obi, I know that's Halloween. That's why I'm like, how can y'all not? How could like the Rouster? That's Halloween. So like, how could you say that's like scary? You know what I mean? I know there's a couple of more. I have a couple of more. You know, I have some funny ones. Too. Okay. I mean, the scariest part is the music. I watched the Unseen. What did you think of it, Wit? What did you think of the Unseen? I'm curious. Because a lot of people haven't seen that one. I thought it was solid. I thought it was an interesting, like, thing. I know we'll talk. I think it was scary in the time, like Blair Witch was scary at first, but now Blair Witch now it's still dizzy though. Like I hate when movies try to do that. You know, there's a couple of them that are, I don't know. I think there's movies that are disturbing, right? I think that's what it is. I think the gory horror, like that had a time in the limelight where you're just like, ugh. It's not really horror, it's just painful. It came out, it definitely went into unexpected directions. I thought it was interesting, like, you know what I mean? Like, I thought it was like the subject matter. You know, it seems like they're trying to like, I don't know if you caught all the like, you probably did. Like the it's a very early 80s movie. You know what I mean? If you think about like the socially what was going on, like the film was, I think The Undead was filmed in 1979. So it had happened in like just a few years before. And I don't know. I just thought that it was really classic in a lot of things. If you haven't seen The Undead, you got to go see it. It's on YouTube. You can watch it for free. Trust me. Any horror movies from other countries, that's a very interesting take. So, yeah, I think Japanese horror, there was a time where Japanese horror was really popular, like 20 years ago. and or 20 years ago. And I think we're kind of starting to see some of that again creep back in. If I think about like the forest and a couple of those, that's starting to creep back into the Western audiences. Uh I think what's scary to me about foreign serial killers, that's scary. I don't know why that came to my mind, but foreign serial killers, when I read about them, I'm like, what? Like, what's going on? Oh my goodness. But that's the whole thing, Obi. She would like, you don't think like when she makes that sound, like, whatever that sound is, I don't know if a right hook would do it, right? Like, I don't know. Like, I think like she comes out of it. I don't know. It'd be kind of interesting. Parasite, Train to Busan. I've been on a train to Busan. It's the southern tip of Korea. Good night, mommy. Good night, mommy. I may be watching this one tonight. I need a pack tonight. Good thing I don't have an early flight tonight. That's a good thing. But I do need a pack tonight. Good night, mommy. Wait, I think I have seen this one. I think I have seen this one. I think it's a cult classic. Or I think it has the makings of to be a cult classic. Let me say it like that. A girl walks home alone at night. The Ring, Chariot Man. You like The Ring? What about Ringu? Like, right? The Ring, what it was supposed to. The other one. Yeah, I did some traveling last week, and I'm doing some traveling this this week. So yeah, hopefully, things work out. We'll see. We'll see. But I got sick. I got sick last Friday. So I packed and then I went to sleep. I didn't really sleep too well. And then I got on a plane and then I started getting sick on the plane. And so I tossed it up to me being uh like just tired. But then I found out I was like kind of really, really sick. So that wasn't fun. That wasn't fun. So my entire trip last Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I was not feeling good. I was not in it. I wasn't as sick as I was in September, but I was pretty sick last weekend. So that's what I've been doing. That's what I've been doing. But yeah, we're just seeing, what are y'all and if y'all this is community stream. If y'all want to come on, please come on. If you want to talk about whatever. I said it was a Halloween stream. Obviously, if you want me to talk about gaming, we can. But I thought I did a pretty thorough run through for gaming a few weeks ago. And so it's kind of like hard for me to think like, the games that are out. Like I told you, I was going to play Mario Wonder. Did really well. Spider-Man 2 did really well. So that's really great for gaming. And yeah, I don't know. The finals. So what's it called? What's the finals is a game. It's open beta this weekend. So if you like first person shooters, you may like that. A lot of people are. I think it's 3-on-3. So similar to, oh my goodness, what was that game on Stadia, y'all? There was another game on Stadia that was like 3-on-3-on-3. Well, the finals actually runs really smooth and it has like commentary. It's interesting what they've done there. So wishing luck to that team. And hopefully it does well. which should go on? Which should go? If Whit wants to come on, Whit came on before Rouster. Yeah, I got like I said, I wasn't too like like I had a fever at some other things, but by I would say Monday I had basically uh I don't know. Like I don't want to say got over it, but Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, today, like I still have a sore throat. Like so, I think I told you all this. Like anytime the air is really dry, I guess everybody's throat gets really dry when the air is really dry. But I already have like somewhat. My lungs are kind of weak, and so yeah. Anytime it's a little dry, I sound a little hoarse, more hoarse than normal. But yeah, she seems to know about horror, so I think it would be good. Whit, do you want to come on? I know Whit and I have seen we've talked through horror before. We've talked through horror before. I just might rouse you thinking about it. Wait, you don't have to do the camera if you just want to do voice. If you just want to do voice, and we can talk. So Whit and I have talked. Whit and I used to during the pandemic. So if y'all don't know, I actually know Whit in real life. And Whit would we had like a whole movie series. So every week we would watch like tons of movies. I don't know what did we watch? Like 100 movies or something, and we would dissect them like like really hardcore. So this was everything from horror to sci-fi to I think it was mostly sci-fi and dystopian future. So Mad Max, Blade Runner, Alien Predator, Predator, Alien versus Predator. That was a long one. We did like all the Star Wars. I think we did Star Trek. We did them all. So we definitely we can talk movies. Yeah. We did, and it was just really cool to kind of see like how some of them played off of each other's. We should have went. We should have. I know we talked about it. We definitely talked about it. But I know there's some more we could do. You know, the Matrix. I know we did that one. Really looked through that all the way through. So it was pretty good. But you know, but no pressure. Any of y'all can come on. Y'all don't have to use your camera, right? It's just if you just click and you have a microphone, it'll work. Whit and Purple Movie Podcast. A lot of spoilers though. You know, what I would love to do is we all watch a movie and then come back and do like talk about it. But I know people are busy. You know, and it is kind of hard to do movies and to keep up with that. So totally here if that's just hard to do. But in general, no, I think we peer pressured her enough to come on. Let's see. Wait, you there?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can. What's going on, Whit?
Hey, episode 1 of the Whit and Purple Horror Movie Podcast.
Horror movie
What
podcast.
you?
Rouser, you got her on here. Wait, so you know, earlier somebody else was saying, like, you know, they were watching you know, I know we did Halloween, right? Friday, so you know, you have Halloween, you have Friday the 13th, and you have Freddy Krueger, right? Rank those in your order of preference of horror film.
I'd have to rewatch Friday. It's Nightmare Before Elm Street. It's been a long time for me. But just going off the top of my head, I mean, this is a hard one. You have to pick like 3 of the most iconic horror movie monsters of all time as my first.
But see, I thought so. Well, here's what I said. Like, I think like if you start to break it down,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's it's a little there it's not too hard, right? Freddy's the only one that really talks.
Okay.
All right. So like so if you think about that, like there's a certain type of element Freddy is, okay? Mike Myers is kind of like the one that's like the monster, right? Like Mike Myers, like just comes at you and comes at you and comes at you, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you know, there and there's an Achilles heel to Mike Myers, right? There's the hero to Friday the 13th or to Halloween movies. Just like Freddy has like a kryptonite to a degree, right? If you just don't go to sleep.
Okay.
And then if you think about, you know, Friday the 13th, that's the one which is more like folklore, right? It's the more it's if any of them, it's like more of this psychological. I don't want to say it's a psychological horror. That doesn't do it justice. But it's also it's kind of just like the your classic slasher. Like people just dying. But yeah, can you hear me? Wait, can you
Yeah.
hear us?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. I'm like, I think my internet went out a little bit, but I think I'm back.
You got full green bars. So then, but yeah, the Friday the 13th with Jason, right? That one is probably the one that has the most like logic to it in a way.
Interesting that you say that. Okay.
Do you not think that like there's like a cause and effect to Friday the 13th?
That's true. That's true. Um, yeah, I mean Jason is out for revenge. You could isn't Michael no well no, Michael is just Michael, right? Even as a kid he was really
Just like right, but you have the hero in Michael, right? Like you have like there's a consistent character in Mike in those.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Okay,
so
I think
you
I have my ranking kind of.
okay. Okay, what is it?
Yeah, you gave me a lot of food for thought, but I think I'm gonna have to rewatch Nightmare on Elm Street, all of those films, because I think we did Halloween last year, right? And we did one of the Friday the 13th, like the first one.
Yeah.
But okay, so this is my opinion just from my bias. So at the bottom for me is Jason from Friday the 13th. I think in some movies, I think it just really goes off the deep end. There's a lot of Friday the 13th movies and it gets weird. But I think what bothered me with like the first Friday the 13th movie I saw was the one that came out in the 2000s. And there's not much remarkable about it. I think it's very much one of those uh, stereotypical slasher films. Very fitting of that era too, in terms of like the quality of the production and all that. But like even at the time, I was very young, but I remember feeling a certain kind of way about the film. Granted, I think that these movies always had this thing about like teenagers and them becoming like sexually active and being punished for it. But I felt like that film was very egregious with like all of it, like the nudity, and I don't know. But it wasn't even good though. Like there wasn't, good horror in it. But I won't judge Friday the 13th based on that film. But I do feel that like as the series goes on, Friday the 13th very rarely kind of escapes the mold of like Jason or his mother is getting revenge. And I think the other stories, I mean, they don't vary that much from like their original story, but I think there's a little bit more variety and depth in the other series. But am I rating the series or the monster? But even then, I don't know. I'm not a huge Jason person. I feel like between I'd rank the other two higher.
No, I agree.
And
I
then
agree. I think that's why I said Friday. Like when you start to break it down, right? Like to me, Friday the 13th is easily third out of those three.
mhm.
You pull the best, like bring the best. I'm not even saying like as total, right? Because Halloween gets kind of cheesy as well. Eventually, but it still stays on it. Krueger gets kind of like comical after a point. But I think
Right.
Jason as the Friday the 13th, um, what I like about it is also what holds it back, which is what I like about it is if you want to see a horror film that is, and I'm talking about the first one here. If you want to see a horror film that has all the kind of elements of classic horror, like, like some form of morality in it, some form of like music and angles and dark, and you watch Friday the 13th and you'll get it all.
hmm
That's me. So all right,
Yeah,
that's number
I
3.
think that's fair.
That's
Yeah.
number 3.
And then between the last two, I'm gonna hold on that. I'm gonna come back to this question after I watch A Nightmare on Elm Street. But what I can say about Freddy and Michael, I mean, I think they both are very iconic, be it like just in terms of cinema, the genre of horror, slasher films. There's lots of, shots and sequences that so many horror films today borrow from both of those series. But I think that there is a little bit more to poke at with both of these monsters. I think Freddy, that element of sleep and dreams could get very interesting, and dream reality. And then with Michael, I mean, I think what fascinates most people about Michael is that sense of, one, just like pure evil, but not evil in a way where there's like a reason for it, just like maybe he was born the wrong way. And then his like unyielding, never ending, like, unstoppable sense of he's still coming to get you. I think especially because he's slow, he's walking slowly. There's always like someone, often like a teenage girl, but not always, running and falling. And he's just there walking slowly and steadily getting closer. And I think there is something fascinating and impressionable about that. But yeah, I'd revisit this question after I watch more Freddy. Yeah. But I do think a lot about I think it's from the first season of Rick and Morty where they parody A Nightmare on Elm Street with that horror movie thing where he's just like, you can run but you can't hide. And I think about that often.
Nightmare on Elm Street to me is it's easy for me to, it comes out a little bit later, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like now when we look back in time, like we could say, oh, it's still like early 80s and 84. But to me, by this time, you had already gotten through kind of like if Friday the 13th and Halloween are late 70s, then like 79, 80, 81, 82 even, you have like just like a ton of like slasher films come out.
Mm-hmm.
By the time Freddy Krueger comes out, they've already kind of now started to refine the formula. And so to me, it's almost like it's like a different genre almost. And so that's kind of the reason I don't know. I kind of deduct points from it for that, but that's just me. You say Freddy number 1, Obi. Okay. I could see like, no, it's a good one. It's a good one. Don't get me wrong. They're all good.
I like though that you point out like when the movies come out, because you do see the like social evolution over time. The way, on one hand, it feels like things are getting less conservative, But overall, it actually feels like they're getting more conservative and you're punishing people more for rebelling more. But I think it makes sense, right? This is like, you have the 60s and 70s, a very tumultuous time of change, right? And then the 80s come in. And it's like, yeah, it's not for everyone to get punished for their sins. So,
For their wild behavior. Well, yeah, and
yeah.
that's why I throw, you have to take Exorcist is like a totally different category, right? It turns the
Exorcist.
entire genre like on its head because it says essentially like F your morality. Like, you know what I mean? Like even the way the movie ends, it's like another F you to like morality, right? Like if you think about what people say about self-harm and so forth, and that's the way you actually save somebody is through that. So I don't know. Like I think
Well, I like that you
like
bring up The Exorcist. That one has a special place in my heart. I don't want to reveal, but I'll say I've gotten the chance to run up and down the Exorcist steps before. Those are no joke. Those are not a joke. Imagine falling down those.
No. So that's interesting. Obi brought up Scream, right?
Okay.
And I Know What You Did Last Summer. And so that's really interesting. What I Know What You Did Last Summer, because I remember vividly when it came out, and looking back at it now, it's interesting how they reinvented the storyline for that.
This is now we're looking at the 90s.
Yeah, the 90s, mid 90s.
See, I came of age when they were parodying these movies with like scary movies. And all those, yeah. So, but I have not seen Scream yet.
Really?
No. I haven't seen I Know What You Did Last Summer either.
Well, they just came out with a new Scream. So I think that's really interesting what they're doing now, like where they have like this new genre, this new generation. And maybe they've always done this, but I think like almost like where they're remaking, like before, like with Freddy Krueger, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 Halloween, all these different Halloweens. It's almost like now with movies that they're almost, Rudix is gonna hate me if he's even on here anymore, where they're remaking, like where they're starting off like an entirely new franchise. So the one I think about that is what Scream, the new Scream, right?
Yeah.
You could also say this, my favorite movie to watch in October, Ghostbusters, not really a horror, but you see that with Ghostbusters, like a new franchise. And so I think that's interesting about this time frame because we see this happening in gaming and in movies.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's kind of interesting because for kids watching horror movies now, probably more than ever, they're going to feel like, I guess like they've been watching similar horror movies to their parents and even grandparents. Sometimes like the same franchise. But I do think it is interesting that they're doing more reboots and restarting the cast and the stories. It is fun to see what they changed to update the stories for a new audience. I know Exorcist 2, I mean like not Exorcist 2, whatever this newest Exorcist sequel is. I just say Exorcist 2 because it's like I feel like they took The Exorcist and were like, what if we doubled the amount of possessed kids? And like that's our new. No, I haven't seen it. I've only seen the trailer.
I actually saw it at Alamo Drafthouse in Brooklyn. With one of my friends, and which is really cool. If you have an Alamo Drafthouse movie theater, it's kind of cool. Little thing they have there, but that's another trend where they take they like remake the series, the franchise.
Mm.
And then there's obviously cameos, and that made it pretty cool.
I was disappointed, but I mean, I want to watch the movie first before I make a comment. But I do feel like with the kind of like the religious bent of The Exorcist, I don't know. I felt like they could have taken it into more interesting directions. I mean, I do think the choices about who's being exorcised are interesting, but yeah, I don't know. I'll probably check it out at some point.
I think what The Exorcist this one did, I'm interested to. I wish you had watched it. I wish I had told you about it, because I watched it like the opening weekend.
Okay.
Because one of my friends, she wanted to see it. That's interesting. Like all the dudes in chat are like, I don't watch horror movies, but it's like all the women I know watch horror, because like Cammy watches horror and Skyland watches horror. Wit watches horror. Like it's interesting that's
I
the
mean, one
trend.
thing, if you've noticed, like a lot of horror movie protagonists are women, right? Like it's a very I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's a coincidence that a lot of people being chased are women and a lot of people chasing are men. But I do love horror movies, and I think I need more of them, where the villains are women, where the villains are queer, villains are from like other cultures. I don't know. I feel like I want to see more people enter their villain era in the 2020s. I know there was Ma. I did not get to see that
Do
yet.
you not think there would be a backlash? So let's
Maybe.
take your
Maybe.
right. So let's take this is Amy's like, oh gee, I can hear Amy.
There probably would be a backlash. Yeah.
Amy's a guy.
And to be
Amy
fair,
likes movies.
there is a
Sorry.
long history of horror movie villains being either being from like marginalized communities or like adjacent to those communities, or like having some kind of association like with queer people, Black people, blah blah
So
blah.
yeah, like that's what I was saying. So like we look at horror movies. We talked about Candyman earlier.
Ooh, okay, sorry. I like
Okay, so we
Candyman.
talked about Candyman. Beloved with Oprah.
Okay.
Okay, right.
I haven't seen the movie, but I've been
Beloved
reading the
is
book.
like a little there. No, I just think, well, and then let's talk about, we showed a clip earlier of Amy's favorite movie, in which I think a lot in the LGBTQ plus community would say that we already have seen a queer villain, in which I don't even know if they're queer, but I think people would. Would we not? Silence of the Lambs.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. They would. Okay, that's a good one.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because we have both Hannibal Lecter as well as
Buffalo Bill.
Right.
Mm.
Beloved was Nutsobi. So you have that. So yeah, I think, but I hear what you're saying. But I think like when you think, or we could even go with Psycho.
Ooh, okay.
But is that? But now I'm making a cardinal sin, right? Because Psycho, that's not. I don't think that's a queer characterization. So, what? Wait, really?
I wouldn't be surprised if there's academic texts about this. Well, yeah, 100%. Norman Bates, 100%.
What?
Not necessarily saying he is like, but to say that there isn't some kind of like anxiety about that being there. No, I think that's definitely like that cultural anxiety is overhanging it for sure.
Cultural anxiety of just in general. Like the reason I said so, but you would say Norman Bates is queer?
Not to say that he's queer, that he identifies as queer, but to say that the director probably
Yeah,
I think it could
definitely
be analyzed through the guy, like through the closet, the cinema of the closet, or whatever it's called. Like there is, you could analyze it through that lens. Yes, whether you can look at it as he's like a cross dresser, or maybe like it's his, but it could be. I mean, I think there's that like that close relationship, that whole psychosexual thing going on. But I was like, because at that time that was like the stereotype, right? That was the fear, the messaging that people had,
yeah,
that
that's what I'm saying.
people like of that community were killers. Not that he was queer, but that queer people were him, if you understand what I mean.
I
Like
totally
queer
get.
people were like pathological, blah blah blah.
No, I totally hear what you're saying. So, no, I get it. Psycho wasn't no joke. um, so we're gonna probably be talking about it some. I'm flying tomorrow with, but
Mm,
the unseen.
yes, yes, yes.
Was
Oh,
it
you're
was
right
it
about the whole spoilers comment you said before, because there is like a moment that was like, "Oh, I can't wait to mention this because it's just so, it's like, it's honestly kind of absurd. Like it's funny, but not like, I don't know. It's like, we'll talk about it. I don't want to
what?
spoil the film.
But was it worth? It was at least satisfying, right? I
Yeah,
wasn't off.
yeah.
I wasn't off. Like, yo, this one is
No,
like underrated, decent. Like no one talks
for
about it.
sure. I really like the direction it takes me in though. And I think it makes some interesting comments about being, I mean the fact that the film starts off with her breaking up with her weird boyfriend. And then
No,
like the whole job thing and all that. Yeah.
her abusive boyfriend.
Yeah, her abusive boyfriend.
Like that's the like. Did you notice what was happening there?
That her sister begs her to go back to, like, it's weird. Not her
Yeah,
sister, her coworker, whatever
her
it is.
coworkers, and again, the brunette versus blonde versus. There's so many
Hmm.
things in that one. So many things that one did interesting well, and then just the pacing. I thought that was unique, like very different.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, the music and the pacing. Oh, y'all need to watch The Unseen so you can know what Whitney and I are talking about.
And I'll watch the final terror at some point. I have that on my list. I have a list. I'm like, the list never ends, but yeah, I need more horror recs. I will try to get to it this weekend.
Um, well, Cherry Man was throwing out a lot of horror earlier. Ambi threw out Good Night Mommy.
Hmm.
Um, I obviously am a really big fan of what I think is what would you say is the ultimate horror film? I think I've asked you this question, but just in general, like would you say is the ultimate horror film?
Hmm. That's like asking someone like, what would you say is the ultimate puzzle?
Ultimate puzzle.
Very broad category. Yeah, hard to say.
Here's what I would say. I actually think I do have an answer to this.
Okay.
And I'm trying to see if because it's so unique. But if I had to say the ultimate puzzle, the Rubik's Cube.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. YouTube has been recommending me a lot of Rubik's Cube shorts. I don't know why. I have no idea. I want.
Signs. You say signs.
I
So
am a signs girly. I really am.
you
It
really
works for me. It does, I guess.
so I said it earlier. We saw a clip of it earlier. Um to me the ultimate horror film because I think it nails everything right. Like I don't think you could redo this film.
Okay.
Like
Hmm.
they try to if you notice they have not tried to do it. Um Subject matter they played around with it. But I'm going to be hard pressed to not say Jaws.
Okay. Good
Like, think
point.
about it. Like Jaws, like, because again, amazing music. It's like you don't even see the thing for quite a while. But then the fact of the matter is it's almost like real. Like, we don't need a giant great white to scare us, right? To
Mhm.
be in the ocean with any great white it's almost like game over. You know what I mean? And so I think the fact that they were able to take that like realism, make it bigger, y- to me that's just the ultimate one.
Interesting.
Silence of the Lambs. I hear you on Silence of so we did watch Silence of the Lambs. Very good. Silence of the Lambs, Jodie Foster, Anthony Hopkins. Very good. Um and it's inspired by a true story. I think that's probably where Silence of the Lambs gets really weird, right? Wait, did you know that?
Yes.
You didn't know that, right? So y'all, it is inspired by a true story. There was actually a person who would once he killed his victims, he would skin them and make house items out of it. So he made a leather chair
Yeah.
out of human flesh, out of
Is
human.
that Ed Gein, right?
Yep. He made
Mhm.
lampshades. He made like a ton of stuff like that was like actual human skin.
Mhm. I think he also inspired Psycho, or like he was one of the influences of
I
Norman
think a
Bates
lot
as
of them,
well.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I think
like
a
a lot
lot.
of horror movies.
Um,
Also,
I
I do like the serial killers and true crime. I mean, I took a break from Mr. Ballin and all that for a while, but sometimes, once in a while, I get deep
oh,
into
Mr.
it.
Ballin. Mr. Ballin did an amazing job. If you have not checked out Mr. Ballin, that's it. If you want to be scared, y'all, if you want to start
Yeah.
off, go watch a
But
little bit of
it's
this.
weird. Have you seen that thing where it was like, I read this post, what was it, like true crime fans are like closet, so I don't remember, but I was like,
Oh
there
yeah.
is something about true crime where you're like, huh, like someone who listens to this like all the time might have like an interesting view of the world, but it's like very like weirdly soothing too. Like you could just like listen to it as you fall asleep.
Mr. Ballin, you could listen to. Yo, if y'all have not checked it out, look up MRBALLIN on YouTube. He's a storyteller, and I mean each episode is like maybe like 10 to 20 minutes, depending on the story, maybe 15 minutes. Uh, and it's really well done. The research they do. Uh, there's a couple of different podcasts that do this. But that one he does a lot.
Mm,
And it's not just about serial killers or anything. But
no.
it is about like tragic stuff. I will say it that way. Um and it's all real. Like that's I think the one that you're just like, what? So no underwater underwater caves are a no. Don't do it. Caves in general just don't do.
Yeah.
Just don't do caves in general. Um Forests or any type of like wilderness, stay on the path. Don't try to take a shortcut. Um
You know what? Just stay inside. Like, just stay inside and
Stay
listen to
inside.
podcasts and play video games. Like,
Yeah,
why go
none
outside?
of them. Yeah.
Like, avoid like weird gases in the air that could like slowly suffocate you, and yeah, like weird kidnappings. I don't know.
Yeah. It's but no, I think yeah, there's a lot of scary ones out there.
Mhm.
So but yeah, I would say Jaws to me is ultimate horror. I think there's a lot of other scarier films that like that get scarier than Jaws. I don't want to say that they're not as scary as Jaws. I
I
just
mean, what is your like when you say ultimate horror? What do you define that? What is horror to you, and how does Jaws epitomize that?
I
'Cause I
think
find that an interesting choice. But I feel like it's
Yeah, it's very subjective based upon the criteria. So
Yeah.
to me, where you can take very simple elements
Yeah.
and have it leave an impact on you, right? Or
Right.
have it change dialogue almost, right? So, and Exorcist did the same thing, but when I think Jaws came out, you saw across America beach towns,
Yeah.
like some of them like really
I mean, to this
struggle.
day, people are still afraid of sharks. Like, even though they're not that much of a danger to the average person.
Yeah, I mean, they're not, but so I would say like the fact that they were able to do that, it's got to be suspenseful. I think yes, definitely. Suspense is definitely an element, right? But I think it's up to what people think. Like if you can't tell, like I'm a very simple, like classic, like that's my type of stuff. Like if people ask me about modern music, I am going to give you a deer in the headlights look because I just don't
True.
listen to modern music.
I mean, there's
I
just so many different ways you could judge horror and like fear and like the kinds of fear. Is it like a psychological fear, an existential fear, or just like, your heart is racing and you want to close your eyes? Um, but I mean, and then there's all the different subgenres, and you have like the body horror types, and then the sci-fi
yeah,
horror.
there's body horror, pain horror. Um, like we talked about sci-fi. I meant to ask you, what would you classify Alien more horror or more sci-fi?
First one, more horror, I think.
Okay. Second one?
I feel like the film gets more sci-fi as it goes on. But I don't. I mean, I guess you can make arguments for both. But I think like the first one is more about like that experience of being hunted by a predator. Than, I mean, even though it's not the Predator series, then like, is it about the technology of being in space? But you can argue that it is about a little bit about like, should they have been traveling and exploring? But I would say like the horror is more of a driving factor than the technology in this
So
case.
here's I generally, so I was about to agree with you that I think it's more
Mm.
horror, except uh for one thing. All right. Horror usually is like what, like it is like to me an evolution of a fairy tale, right?
Okay.
And fairy tales tell some story about morality. Okay? Like
Mm-hmm.
or what the storyteller is trying to convey is morality, good and wrong.
Yeah.
Sci-fi is usually a commentary on contemporary events. You know what I mean?
Usually.
So
But it has that speculative nature, like that forward looking, like what happens if like, because there's typically like always a dystopia or a utopia in the, not always, but that is often an element, like this is going to turn dystopic.
right, and so we actually, if we think about Alien, right? There's very
Mm-hmm.
much about, where's David Wilson? He would probably like this conversation. Uh Capitalism, is a
Okay.
driving force. Like we're the monster or whatever the science fiction whatnot, like what society is pushing us towards.
That could
Um,
still be a horror thing.
it could, I guess. I guess you're saying that it is a form of morality. Hey, I listen to music older
Because
than you. Guess it just depends on the generation you're in. Yeah, I guess so. Um,
I
I'm
would
just
say like, okay.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I definitely think like the recent entries like Prometheus and all that definitely go much harder in the sci-fi direction. But I think it goes too far. Like I don't know what Ridley Scott was trying to say. I just knew he was saying a lot of it. Um but yeah, but I see what you're saying. I do think though I do think that Alien, the first one, is probably like a very good marriage of both science,
Well,
fiction and horror.
the first Alien, like I said,
But
I
I feel
think
like it's more like a horror in the sci-fi setting than it is a sci-fi.
It could. I mean, like I said, I could definitely see where it's horror. I think when I just the way I categorize sci-fi and horror, where I draw that line
Right.
is like really the story. Like, what is the over underlying message, and why are you using this setting to convey that message? And when I look at it from that angle,
Right.
then it leans to like, okay, you're a sci-fi, um, but
I know what you mean.
I could definitely see why it's horror.
Like that
Um,
Jurassic Park question
which
of
one?
like the Jeff Goldblum in the first one, just because you can, like with capitalism and the I mean, because it was what the robot was programmed. Oh wait, let me not spoil things. Let me stop right there. Never mind. Yeah,
Okay,
but no,
so
I see your point.
Obi said he saw Alien for the first time 5 years ago, and he wasn't scared. He's not hating, but he's not scared. I Alien is it's a masterpiece of a movie, though. I don't know, Obi. You're kind of like I. Wait, I think you agree with me on this, don't you?
Yeah,
Like it's I think when you look at everything that happens in that movie, like as far as cinematography goes, I
I mean, I
don't
would
know.
say like the experience of being scared is very personal, and I think is related to like what like for the individual.
Mm.
If you're a jumpy, scary person, like what your traumas and fears are, how you experience horror film is going to vary. So it's like hard to, but I mean, it's a good question. Like, do films need to physically or emotionally or physically scare you to be good? Or can you still appreciate the film even if you're not scared? Or what does it like? What do we enjoy about horror films?
Oh, and this is good. So, what do I enjoy about horror films? Two things. I think something that can get me. I said this before. I think the intrigue of me to watch something on a screen, knowing that I'm safe in my apartment or wherever, and to have my heart racing or to do
Mhm.
something. To me, I'm very interested in that. Like how does
Right.
that happen?
Like,
And
cause say for me, I have like different types of experiences of fear, like the phenomenology of fear. No, let me stop pretending I'm smart. But my whole point is like there's that fear, like if a moment, like if someone jump scares me, or like approaches me from behind, like the kind of fear I'll feel, right? Well, then there's a fear of being disturbed, like you hear a very dark thing like that happened to someone, or traumatic story, or you watch like a bad car accident. That's one. Or like there's existential fears, there's like identity ego fears, ego death. That's the type of fear. Like there's different kinds of fears you can experience, and I think different horror movies pull out different fears and anxieties, and will like have them, like some of them it won't hit you till years later. You just start like thinking back to that movie and you're like, ew, that was kind of sick. Or like you'll just have a nightmare and you're being chased by like a serial killer. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, yeah, no, I think horror. You're right. Horror is very personal. I mean,
Like
it's
I
a
love like the psychological thrillers, like stories about people like losing their mind, losing touch with reality. That's one type of fear.
okay. Wait,
Like,
and
has
there's
anyone
so
seen
many.
Oculus on Netflix? I think it
I'm
was on
not.
Netflix.
I need to see Oculus. How about this one, Wit? I
Hmm.
also think this is another underrated one. Flashback to the mid '90s. Event Horizon. That's right up your alley right now.
Okay, I have not watched that.
What? Oh my
Mm,
goodness. I'm giving you like all these good ones to go
mhm.
watch. You need
Add
to
it
go
to
watch
my
it.
list.
Event Horizon. You need to go watch it. If that's
Yeah.
what you like, then you would
And I
like
tell
it.
you, I agree with you, Obi Rose. Like a lot of stuff, I think like you had to be there too. So like, but certain things are timeless, and like it's all random. Honestly, some of it at least.
Which was
But some of it you had to be there. I definitely was not there. I could say that for a lot of this, I was not there. Even for the stuff I was around for, I was not there.
Sphere. Someone else was bringing up this one. I mean, like they're all like so if y'all who are still in chat, what would you say is horror? So I always said suspenseful. Wit, you're saying it's very personal, like what it is. Like, well, it's evoking emotion, right? And I think,
Mhm.
for me it is that like two things to make a great horror. I need to have something to reflect on. Like I like
Yeah.
to think afterwards what's going on, but also it has to have like to have like a not just it's like a physical reaction. Like if I can get like a
Mhm.
physical reaction out of it and something for me to ponder on, then I think the storyteller did their job. You know what I mean? Um
Mhm.
and so that's why I'm like, "Oh, that you did a well enough job telling that story." And um yeah, I just love it. You don't like gore like Rob Zombie. It's not scary. It's just bloody and why. Yeah, some people like, but yeah, I totally get it. I totally get it. Some people like that.
I don't like gore, even though I can appreciate some body horror. And like some of it, like Save the Fly. I can't finish that movie. I might try to finish it again, but like it does bother me a lot. But I was like, I don't like gore for the sake of gore, and eventually you just get desensitized to it. It's not that scary in and of itself.
Yeah. No, I think it's just cool. Like I don't know. It's Halloween. This show was all you know talking about Halloween, talking about with the community because I do stream horror. And I thought like why not the show before Halloween? But next week's show will also be a themed show. And I hope you all appreciate it. Like I have put a lot of thought into next week's as well. Uh but yeah, I don't know. Wait, we're almost at the 2 hour mark. But if you want to stay on afterwards, more than willing to talk some more horror.
Okay. Yeah, thanks for having me on. I'll see everyone again next year on Halloween, my favorite holiday.
Oh my goodness. You're so great. Any words, Wit?
Um, Boo.
Your humor. Um well, y'all, thanks so much. I really appreciate it. And just even the feedback, y'all in chat. Again, I know everybody's super busy, so I always appreciate when y'all can come by uh and just helping me get my thoughts out there. Um with that said, oh, next week's gonna be special, Obi. Next week's gonna be special. You'll probably like it. But with that said, I don't care where you game, how you game, why you game, where you game, what you game on, how long you've been gaming. As long as you're gaming, you're good with me. And as always, this is Purple Haze, and the proof is in the plane. All right, y'all are gonna want to stay for this outro. All right, peace.